Hello, welcome to my sewing room on
Hi.
a gorgeous Friday,
Oh, is it gorgeous? You can see the
March
mountains.
15th. So we're in that it feels like first spring. It's probably false spring.
Fall spring.
That's where it feels like spring outside, and then it's gonna do that other stuff again.
Yeah, you can't say that.
No, I can't say those words.
We're not allowed to say the S word anymore.
No,
Because
it will happen.
It's March.
Yes. So we are back for part 2 of making a Sweet Jane's Basket of Charms bag. So we started this project yesterday, Chelsea and I. I'm Leah. Chelsea over here.
Hi.
The Basket of Charms pattern from Sweet Jane's comes in 3 sizes when you get the pattern, which is fabulous. And they nest.
They're just so sweet, and hence Sweet Jane's.
Yeah. So little mini size. Chelsea made a little edit, moved the handles, made it more like a tote bag. We had a bit of a discussion yesterday about
It's a toy
handle
tote.
orientation and stuff, but and then this is the large one, and I can't reach the medium because I left it far away.
There you go.
So, and that one. Yesterday we made a little bit of a pattern edit for a medium-sized one. I showed you guys how to do multi-color lettering on a Brother NQ3700D sewing embroidery combo machine. And then part of what we've done on this project, I spent today filming a longer format video that wasn't live.
It's really
To make the other panel for this bag. So pattern hacking a little bit by taking out some of the piecing and replacing it with embroidered blocks. So that video that I filmed today will be ready sometime in the next week or so. And we'll drop a link to that in here when we're all done. But if you guys want to see what we did on the other panel.
I'm so excited. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
And you can only have this design if you have this one's from the XP3.
Yes.
But the other brothers with Disney on them may have a similar design.
Yes. Yeah. So,
I'm just very excited.
right?
Can I unveil it?
Yes, you totally can.
It's McQueen.
It is McQueen. It's so cute. So we did little bit of extra stuff on this. So because I was using the Brother Luminaire XP3, it has a feature called My Design Center where I can add background quilting.
Mm-hmm.
So we've actually quilted behind our little friends on there. You might not see that on the up front camera, but we could probably see that on the close-up cam.
Oh yeah.
So it's just quilted in white, but it's given it some texture around that really cool embroidery.
It's really cute.
Right? So I mentioned in the video I filmed today that all of the Disney designs are for personal use only. So that means make anything you want out of those Disney designs. You can keep them, you can give them away, all of those good things. But you're not supposed to sell them as per Disney licensing agreements with Brother. So,
Yep. So I'm not selling. I'm just gifting
so
to a cute little boy.
let's gonna go with this one.
He's gonna have a matching set. One
It's
for
gonna
the
be
car,
so
one for the
cute.
house. It'll be adorable.
Or he's gonna take both everywhere, Chelsea.
It might be that situation, and
That's not your problem. He's your nephew.
it's not my problem. I'm just the aunt.
Right? So what you'll want to do if you want to make these baskets is pick up the pattern from us, link in the comments. But we're going to do a few step outs for you.
Yep.
So-
We may have done a little bit of work ahead of time.
Just so you don't have to watch quite so long. So,
Yeah.
Are you ready for the next thing you're doing?
Yes. I just need to count and see how many. We're making the medium basket. So we're going to make pairs of squares. And I may have already made one pair of squares.
Perfect. Machine today, we are using the Brother PQ1600S. This is a high-speed straight stitch machine from Brother.
Oh, it is high speed.
It
I'm
is
having
so
fun.
peppy and fun.
Easy on the
it,
gas.
it has a thread cutter, It has a needle threader. It has a knee lift, which are all some of my favorite things.
I definitely have my knee lift on.
Do you want to do that again? What can that knee lift do? It can lift the presser foot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I do have this piece in here as a leader. I'm just going to hit the thread cutter and knee lift.
Trimmed and removed. Isn't
And-
that sweet?
How fast should I show them it goes? Should I just go for it?
Just go for it. Just go for
All
it.
right.
It is smooth like butter.
And quiet.
Yeah.
And the best part is, like, it's so smooth. You might have noticed my pin dish on the side here. It's not attached. It
But
was
it
just chilling.
It didn't move.
One thing I was thinking I would like for this machine, we have those really nice magnetic pin dishes, and then it would just attach to the bed of the machine, and you're good to go. And then when you're moving your stuff on here, fiddling with your quilt, you're not knocking your pin dish off, which can be frustrating when you do that.
Yeah. My thought with this machine is if you love sewing on a machine with all the bells and whistles at home, but you like to go to your quilt guild or your cabin or your kid's house, wherever you might go to sew, that you don't want to take a big machine and you know you're just going to spend the day piecing, you're not necessarily going to be quilting while you're there, you're not necessarily going to need a zigzag. If you know you just want to be able to sew and piece and have a pretty friendly portable machine, this might be a great machine to add to your collection.
I think so. I quite like it. This is my first time using it, and I'm having a good time, so you might notice my speed control might not be the most consistent.
It's a little peppy compared to some of the other machines. Do you want me to press that?
Yes, I do. I was figuring I'd give you a head start with the finger pressing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I have a trimming job for you after that.
Oh, perfect.
Because I didn't realize, I forgot to trim our piece.
From yesterday.
Yes,
Okay.
and we need that for the next step. So now I have 2 pairs. For the pattern hack we are doing, we're replacing 4 sections of these pairs with 1 embroidered panel is what it winds up being. Because normally it's 6 sets of these little patchworks wide. But I only wanted to do very little piecing, plus we need the cute name on there.
Yeah. So I'm just going to flip this up. The embroidery we did yesterday
It's adorable.
is adorable. However, it's currently way too big and still attached to stabilizer.
Yeah, it's not really going to fit because,
Yeah.
you know, this is how big it needs to be.
Yeah. So there is a centering cross line in here that we placed yesterday to help us get our fabric centered. We're going to use that to figure out our cutting. And I'm pretty sure I know the size because I did this earlier on the other piece.
Yes, we cannot say the sizes out loud.
No, you'll have to get the pattern.
Yeah. And if you have the pattern and you're curious, send us an email at education@mysewingroom.
Yeah.
We can tell you the size we did.
Would you like it actually to be square at the end too?
That'd be nice.
Okay. Deal. I can do that.
It'll make the shape a little nicer.
That's kind of what I thought.
Just getting rid of all your scraps as you're cutting.
Okay. And we haven't removed any of the stabilizer yet. So I'm just going to go through and remove a little bit. Just to soften it some.
Yeah. And this is tearaway, so if, say, my nephew spilt some juice on this and my sister washes it, because I'm sure it's going to go through the ringer, because, you know, he's 3.
Yeah.
This stabilizer is going to break down in the wash over washes, and then it'll go away.
Yeah. So it's not going to leave weird bulky bits in behind later on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Looks like our friend Angie has the pattern, but has not made it yet.
Oh, you're in the right place, Angie.
Angie, I think
there's
you
no
need to make
excuses
it.
now. You can do it this weekend.
Would you like to do some pinning?
I would absolutely love to do some pinning.
We should probably put that back on top. So this panel here is the one taking place of 4 sets of squares, and she's just adding those on. Hey, you even did it the right way. Did you check the other one? You did great.
No, I was winging it.
You did a great job. You just guessed
Maybe
it.
it
You
was
had
just
them
intuitive.
perfect.
Maybe it was just intuitive.
I think so. We were both just like, these have to be this way.
This is the right way for these pieces of fabric. I'm sure of it.
Would you like to do some ironing while I do some sewing?
I would love to.
Okay. So while I do some sewing, I'm just going to sew a 1/4 inch seam down the sides of here.
Yep.
Leah is going to take our handle piece and fuse our woven on it, our fusible woven.
So the fusible woven on the handles is going to give the handles a little bit of structure, make them stand up a little bit nicer. And you'll want to follow the fusing directions on your fusible products. They all vary slightly.
Ow. I wasn't looking and I totally just stabbed myself with a pin. You know when you just don't even look at your pin dish and then it's like stab.
Yep. Been there, done that. Gifts are made with blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
So it's important to stab yourself with a pin once every project.
I really like this thread cutter, Leah. This is beautiful.
You good?
The gap. I love it. Oh, this also has a stop with the needle down feature, which is excellent.
Yeah, which is way easier for chain piecing.
I'm trying to work on my consistency of speed. It's either turtle slow or rammy. I will give you this piece to iron. So she's just going to press those seams outward because we have 2 layers of... Oh, they can't see you, Leah.
Nope, they can't.
So on the back of this piece, we actually have 2 layers of ultra clean and tear and fusible woven already. So it's pretty thick, so we're not going to worry about pressing the seams open. We're just going to press them towards the thinnest thing, which will be our pieced sections.
And I'm just being really gentle with the iron because I don't want to iron on top of my embroidery.
Yeah, that's a fabulous idea.
Yeah.
Why are we worried about ironing on our embroidery, Leah?
Because it could burnish the thread if
Mm,
you iron too hot on top of your embroidery.
that makes sense.
Or it could collapse the stitches, and something like a wide satin stitch like what we've got in this name
I could see
could
that
be a
happening.
problem.
All right, that looks beautiful.
Are
Are you going to iron our handles?
I am.
Fantastic.
So,
This is so nice having an assistant. And while Leah's doing that, I have, what piece do they call this in there? The top band?
yeah.
Maybe? So I'm going to take the top band and attach it to the top here. And I think I'm just going to wing it and not pin it all.
Monster.
I know. Oh, I am going to put a leader in there though. Because, you know, it's fun. Angie says, you cannot even hear that machine. Wow. You know, it's pretty fabulous.
So on the handle, the long strip gets turned into 2 handles, but you press it in half and then fold both sides into that center line. Depending on how stiff that interfacing you're using is, this might be a little bit tricky.
I really like that thread cutter. You notice I'm not chain piecing anymore. I'm just using the cutter.
Sounds
I'm
good.
just having a great time over here. Use the leader and then cut.
And part of the reason for using the leader is you don't necessarily want thread tails in your piecing when we're doing little bits like this.
Yeah.
you can always grab onto the bobbin thread and the top thread and hold on to them while you get started to avoid those loops.
I don't have patience for that. I like using it. Actually gives me a really good reason to have scraps around.
So I've heard that some people are really organized with their scraps and just have a bucket that's turning into another quilt that they use as leader and enders. And I would like to believe that I could be that organized, but I am not.
Oh, it's turning into a quilt because when they use it as leaders and enders, they just intentionally sew a 1/4 inch seam.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too organized for me. That's too hard. Oh, this is going to be so cute. I have another piece ready for you, Leah.
Okay.
When you are ready.
So I'll let you sew the handle bit.
I'm going to sew the handle bit, and I am going to stitch on both sides. This is the handle that she created. So when I sew these, I like to sew the side that's open first.
Me too. Good call.
Fantastic. And I think what I'm going to use as my marking point is actually just the edge of the foot. But I'm going to stick my leader in first.
Yep. So interestingly enough, for the PQ 1600, there are compensating feet. So if you wanted a consistent distance away from the edge of something, you could put a compensating foot on.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And it's kind of got 2 heights on the bottom, so it'll butt up against that thicker side and keep you going straight.
I love sewing straps. This is how much work I put in. You know, sometimes the strap game is just satisfying. Nope, and then I get too courageous, and then I sew like cockamamie. Very good. And instead of trimming and adding a leader, maybe we will cut it. Scissors.
Could it be pin dish?
Yes, of course you can have my pin dish.
I'm going to be your assistant. I'm telling you. It's ready for me to do another job.
Whee! Okay, that's my favorite part.
Honestly, every time I run the PQ 1600 and get it up to full speed, it's just like,
whee! Isn't that beautiful? Oh, maybe you can't see it because I used white on white. But that stitching is beautiful, except for where I went all crooked. But you know what?
We're not going to talk about that.
It's for a 3-year-old.
If he complains,
And he's not going to say anything because it has McQueen on it. How fast can we sew a strap, Leah?
and keep it going straight. I don't know. I know my limit is probably not full speed.
My limit is definitely not full speed, but that was pretty quick. I like this machine. I'm having a great time. All right, so we have, oh, sorry, I didn't show you. We have a strap. I stitched, you know, a generous 1/8.
Yeah.
Maybe more like 3/16.
Yeah.
That's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
On the folded edge and this edge, and now Leah is going to take it and chop it in half.
I love it. And we're ready for the next thing for Chelsea to sew. So the bag is essentially made with a lining and an inner piece.
A lining and an exterior.
Yes. Lining.
You just said 2 linings, essentially.
I sure did.
That was adorable. So let's just make only lining bags. Oh, did you want to show them what you're trimming?
I could, yeah. Nope, I can't. So the strap gets cut to the magical distance of that far. Oops, I didn't cut those quite even. We're just gonna...
Just make them even. That's fine. The best part is from making now 2 of these bags, I found them to be very forgiving. So I would classify these as a really good starter project.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting down your technique of trying to stitch straight. And you're making your first bag. I would say great starter project. I had to. Okay, so while Leah's ironing, I am going to take my beautiful lining, and it's short on this edge and long on this edge, and what I'm going to do is fold it in half, and I am going to stitch down this side and this side at 1/4 inch. And of course, I'm not going to pin that. I'm just going to stitch from the top to the bottom, and then
that puts the fold exactly at the fold.
Yeah, it'll make it so that I don't have to worry about it.
Have your pin dish, though?
The stabilizer wound up a bit big. Could you give that a little trimmy?
I absolutely can.
Just a teensy weensy bit.
A teensy weensy.
And
it's
there's
a
a pin
little
dish.
bit. Yes. Because I think, well, you'll be quite happy with it. Not pinning the lining. I think you'll probably want to pin the outer.
Oh, I most definitely want to pin the outer, because that's the one that I'll notice and it'll bug me.
Will it bug the 3-year-old? No.
No, he won't care. But it'll bug me.
And you want to give good quality work.
Yes.
It's up to your standards.
Should move a couple of things.
Before we sew them into your project.
Just like, there's some extra bulk over here. All right, so I'm just doing the stitching top to the bottom, and I'm still using my leader because, it just makes everything cleaner. Happier sewing project. And then I'm not having to clip a whole bunch of tails.
That's the other thing I really like about sewing with leaders. Is all those tails end up in something you don't care about. Unless you're one of those organized people who makes things you care about with leaders and enders.
Yeah, I'm not.
And then I don't know how to help you.
I was
like, that's not how I roll.
Just like using the gas. So we have 2 little straps. They're super cute. And then they're just going to make some really cute and adorable handles. All right. Leah has our outers pinned.
What do I need to do next on her?
Oh, you need to mark the boxed corners. And there is, in the pattern, directions. So the small basket gets boxed slightly different than the medium and the large.
Did you bring a...
Oh, I have a friction pen.
Perfect.
Which I neglected to give you.
Okay.
Leah can mark this. This one I might just run the leader through. And what I did when I boxed the corners, Leah, was I did the seams open. Because we'll wind up cutting off that extra bulk.
Right, so I could nip into those seams.
Yeah.
Making them easier to press.
And I found it just gave a cleaner, less bulky finish.
Yeah.
When I can, I love pressing seams open. Especially in bags. Alright. Oh, you know what we forgot on this, Leah?
What?
We got carried away. We didn't put the fusible woven on him.
Oops.
On our exterior. We should probably do that. I will seam rip.
Do you think we could do it one side and then the other?
Actually, we might be able to do it while it's flat, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. When you make a mistake, there's ways to recover.
Sorry, I got all excited. I forgot there was another step.
I totally forgot. I was just concentrating on sewing. It's all good.
We could probably switch to the camera I'm on.
Oh yeah, top.
Someone wants to watch. So, with the box corner, I don't mind clipping that seam allowance to press this open. If you had a tailor's, thing.
Clapper?
No, not the clapper.
What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
The one with the point that would fit inside this, so we could press it open without laying with it.
Oh, the ham?
No, the flat one.
Oh, a tailor sleeve board. Like that?
Yeah, but some of them have a really skinny point on the end.
Ooh, a jabby one.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, Leah.
Normally I do, and it's not coming to me at the moment, but that would make this easier.
Fantastic.
So,
I was wondering why that was so much flappier than I remembered when I saw it last time. I was like, why does this feel so different? Oh. We're just going to add the stabilizer.
point presser.
A
Rod and
point
Catherine have
presser. Thank you. You didn't mark?
You have to mark corners now.
I have to mark. Okay.
Yeah. I'm at the iron.
All right.
You get to mark.
So, to mark boxed corners, I'm coming right into the center here. All right. So, the way I like to box corners, to mark them, and because I'm using a friction pen, I'm going to have to make sure this is cold, or my pen mark is just going to disappear. I always stand it up on end and get my fingers into the point, and then I kind of flatten it. Well, let's make a sharper crease down here. So I like a good sharp crease so I can see what's going on. And then I aim my seam towards that crease I just made. Perfect. And I don't measure or worry too much about this, to be honest, because nobody's going to know. And I'm just going to check my cheat sheet. And I'm measuring from the point and up. And can I say this measurement, Leah?
The magic amount.
The magic amount. And I give it a little pen mark there. And I will take a couple pins and stick them in just here, just to keep it flat, and I'll remove them as I sew. And I mark both boxed corners before I go to the sewing machine. Because who wants to pause? Not me.
Never. Pausing is no fun.
Pausing means that I make less crafts. So all I'm doing here is I'm lining up my seams. And then at least if they're crooked together.
That makes sense.
All right. And then we'll get that magic number back out. And I'm lining up one of my lines right on that seam, so I'm pretty straight, and I just boop. Perfect. And one thing I will double check after I pin this, because I haven't made this size before, is just to make sure that I'm not going to catch the side of my bag in the box corner. Nope, we're far away. We're going to be good. So I'm going to take this to the other machine. And I'm just going to box my corners and get my leader out. Pedal to the metal, because who doesn't? And this one also a little bit slower. The way I usually do it is my foot has this nice gap right between it. I really love this kind of toe for this. And I'll just aim for that to be down the center.
You want to know a trick on that?
Yes.
If you start in the middle,
and
sew out
and then
to one
pivot.
side,
Let's do that. Let's do Leah's trick.
You're much less likely to have that corner shift on you. Because the middle is where we care that it's marked and even. But sometimes the fabric does shift and grow as you go.
I also super made this straight when I started, so. let's see how this goes.
And then you also double up on your stitching, because you'll stitch to that side, spin your project around.
Move my pin dish.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
And I'm going to fold up the other side of my project so I'm not fighting it. And then we'll just flip around and I will sew to the end again. That was kind of satisfying to do that way.
Yeah. And especially like if you've got big bumpy seams, it's easier to start in the middle.
Yes, because otherwise you're going to be sitting there fighting them the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, sewed right off. Good job. That's too fast, Leah.
No, that was too fast for Chelsea. You don't have to tell me that was too fast. I could have told you that.
My super consistent speed is getting out of hand.
Super consistent full speed. Would you also like the seams on this other part pressed open?
Yes.
For the same reason, right? Also getting boxed.
And now that I have these boxed seams ready to go, you can see my little line there. I'm going to send it over to Leah, where she is going to trim 1/4 of an inch away from this stitched line. Because then we're going to eliminate all this bulk, and we're not going to see it. How's your ironing going?
Well, it would have gotten faster if I'd done it in the right order, but you know.
Well, maybe I will start trimming while you do that. Okay. So when I said Leah, I meant me. I'm going to come in and trim this.
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So that's my little weird shaped corner.
The one thing here, like the first time you make any pattern is always the most challenging. But this kind of basket, once you get the hang of it, I think you could like chain piece these and whip them out so quick.
I think you totally could. And like, I read this pattern once. I did this pattern once, and now I'm making it for you guys.
Right.
It was pretty foolproof.
Friendly.
And I already have a box that is a lining. So this one I am going to leave inside out and await Leah's beautiful creation.
We're getting there.
You got this. You're doing great.
I know.
I'm just really surprised you got that to fuse so nicely. Well, it was already a folded envelope.
I was super careful. It might not be super fused right at the bottom.
Oh,
but that'll be the bottom of the
that's
basket.
the
So I think
bottom.
it's going to be fine.
Nobody's worried about the bottom.
Yeah. I've got a couple bits that aren't quite as fused, but I think they're not going to be a problem.
Angie says she wants one of these machines.
Me too.
Because I'm just having a great time with it.
She also said, I love the wee.
Oh, she also loves the color and cut. I'm guessing that's your hair.
Oh, yes.
And we have Tina and Anne and Ron and Catherine King joining us. And Robin is here.
I'm going to let you box your next pair of borders yourself.
Let's box this one. So this is my exterior. I'm just going to box this like I did already once.
So when our handles go on, do they go on the outside or
Yep,
the inside?
they do. They go on the outside. I probably could have already attached them, but this is how they did it in the patterns. They make that, and then they do that, and then you attach them to here, and then you attach that to there.
Perfect. So we're nearly done, is what you're telling me.
We're literally nearly done. Speedy, hey? I might have to do this way because I'm a lefty. I'm not a righty, and I was doing it like I demo for students.
It's really helpful having Chelsea in classes with me because it's a lot of mental gymnastics for me to figure out how to have somebody cut left-handed, and she can just come along and show them the right way to cut as left-handed humans.
It's true. Mind you, I've shown enough righties how to cut that now I cut right-handed.
Really?
Yeah, so when I square up a block, I put my block down, put a square on it, and go and then I do the bottom lefty. I only do one out of the 4 cuts right-handed, but it really speeds up quilting now. I feel very efficient.
Everybody looks at me funny when I suggest that they try sewing with their left foot so they can use their knee lift with their right knee.
Yeah, I'm still not going to agree with you on that yet. Just wait till I, have an accident or something, break a foot. Then I'll be there because I'll be like, I can't do this without using my other foot.
I like the bits that cut off the box corners.
Or thank you. I'm pretty sure I aimed this mostly in the middle. Yeah, sure. I'm easy. Sometimes you just need a project, or it's loosey-goosey, and it's gonna work out.
But it's always nerve-wracking because you don't know the first time you make a pattern if it will be a loosey-goosey, able to do things differently kind of pattern or not.
Yes, that is totally why I already made one, because I was like, we'll see what happens. This one's a little harder to fit in.
So the nice thing about the throat space on this PQ 1600 is you can fit a pretty big bag through there.
Yes, you can. It does not have a free arm, but I'm going to show you a hack to manage stitching on top of this bag without a free arm.
Awesome. Which
I should have done it on my machine when I was doing that little one because it was not really fitting through my machine. Oh, would you like to? No, you can't pin the handles because it goes on this side. Do you want to see where to pin the handles?
Sure.
It's not on that page.
Are you doing the handles the same orientation as the actual pattern on this size of bag? You did the other ones tote bag style.
I think I want this one to be tote bag style too, so it's easy enough for my nephew to carry. What do you think?
We can do whatever you want. It's your bag.
This is true. Maybe let's tote bag style this one. And in the pattern, they mention how far apart to measure for your handles. Because you go off of a center point.
Right.
And then measure, and then put your handles sitting off that center point.
Can I hack the corners off this time?
Of course you can.
Thanks, I was so excited, and then you didn't let me.
Yes, it's my fault.
However, let's probably wait. I know what I'm doing. No, I don't.
Do you need help?
I'm just having a brief moment of this ruler is not the ruler I want to use. Because I have a really skinny ruler at home that would do this easier.
Yes, I know. Just jam it in there. You could also use a pair of scissors. Because this isn't a quilt and you're not going to see the seam allowance. So as long as it's a quarter-ish.
Quarter-ish?
It's fine.
Quarter-inch or quarter-ish?
Quarter-ish.
Quarter-ish.
For this seam. Yep. Or for trimming of the seam. Quarter-ish, just make sure it's
some of the bulk from inside.
Yeah. You don't want to make it too skinny.
Nope.
That.
Okay. So
great.
Marking our handles.
Oh yes. I knocked that loose while I was stitching, Leah. We might need to give it a little bit of an arc.
Okay.
Might have caused a little ruckus. Great idea. Okay, and so these are that big away from the seam on each side, which I think we should reduce that size because it sounded like we might have lost a little bit of length.
1/8 of an inch.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's all.
Good job, Leah.
I just folded weird when I folded it in half. But it was bulky, so it didn't fold very nice.
Perfect.
I could have actually measured more carefully and then done it.
I did bring a tiny ruler
for
measuring inside. Okay. I guess I could have given you this for trimming those corners, but
too late
it's adorable. It's a 3.5-inch square.
Okay.
It's so cute. Oh, you're doing that exactly how I was going to do it. Good job.
So like we work together.
So what Leah is going to do, because normally you're working off of this seam here to measure your handles, Leah's just going to mark a center point on the side of our bag so we can attach handles there. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Point presser. I cannot believe we were stumped.
Yep.
And so the first time I made this bag, I put the folded edge of my handle towards the center. And on this one, we're going to put, the open edge where the two meet towards the handle. And on this bag, we're going to put this nice seamless folded edge towards the center. It'll look really nice that way. Like that. Versus, you might be able to see them, my little folds here. How's your measuring?
Good. I got this.
Nice. Beautiful.
The small ruler I use at home isn't a 3.5, it's a 3 or a 4. I've got even numbers, not halvesies.
Beautiful.
So sometimes picking up other people's rulers,
I have
got the halvesies on them. It messes me up because I'm like, wait a minute, I am okay to measure from all the sides on my ruler.
And on this one, I'm not going to worry about pinning.
No, because we're just essentially basting the handle in place, right?
We're going to baste the handle before we sew it together.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be easier. So maybe I'll show on the close-up.
Yep.
Right. So you can see my marks there. There's my center point, there's my outside, and there's my other outside. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my handle and baste this one first. So I'm just going to lay it there. And then what I'm actually going to do is not do it at quite 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to line that up and drop my foot in the center.
Nice.
And then I have my reverse. I'm going to go forwards. I'm going to go backwards. And then I will go forwards again and cut it. That is all. Then I'm going to take my handle and I'm going to grab the cut edge and rotate it without twisting. That's the trickiest part, making sure you don't twist it. Don't ask me how I know that.
Have you taken handles off more than once?
I'm not going to admit that online. But yes, generally everything I say is because I learned the hard way.
Great news, you can watch us and learn how not to do things to save yourself some pain and suffering.
All right, that one's in place. And I'm sewing with my bag still inside out, this out of the way, because I don't have a free arm. And this is going to be essentially how we're going to top stitch the bag.
Yeah.
Nice side on the inside.
Yeah. So we see the good side when we're all done.
So I'm going to flip this. Yeah, exactly. We're going to flip this and we're just going to line our thing up. So nice folded edge, not the seamed edge towards the inside. And that's just my personal preference. If you do it the other way and you like it that way, that's good. And no twisting, just bring that over. And honestly, I think this part might be the hardest part of the bag.
Putting the handles on?
Yeah.
So if you were concerned that they were going to move around on you, other things you could use is you could put a little bit of glue on there.
Yep.
And glue them in place. It's pretty hard on a handle to clip or pin because there's just not a lot to clip or pin with.
All right. Are we ready for this, Leah?
We're moments from being done this
We're
bag.
moments. So you're going to turn that one right side out, the outside.
Okay.
Are you excited yet? Because I'm very excited.
I was excited all afternoon when I made the one panel for you. I was like, this is going to be so cute.
Is it adorable?
Well, I was just thinking, like, your nephew's 3 and mine is not yet 2.
He's a baby.
So I think I'll have to keep this in mind for
I think
a
you
birthday
will.
present for not too far from now.
Mine's gonna be a just everyday present, because why not? All right, then this guy in that guy. And
Mash.
it doesn't matter which way you get it in here as long as you are matching up your two seams. That's all that really matters.
I think we should just pause for a minute and restitch a 1/2 inch here.
Oh, did it come apart?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I was too rough when I turned it.
I'm just kidding. I could have backstitched it for you.
You could have.
Do you want me to backstitch it? Yes, please.
Just sorry.
Fighting. All right. In we go. That was too fast, Chelsea.
It's all good.
We're getting it done. Oh, I should do this side too. It was a me problem, okay? It was me. It wasn't Leah. Leah didn't turn anything too hard. I should have backstitched.
So excited she forgot to backstitch. And coming from a quilting background, you don't always think to backstitch, but things like bag openings, it's a really good idea. At the top of the bag seam. Maybe it doesn't matter on the bottom if you're boxing it because it's going to get chopped off anyway.
And hopefully those seams lined up. But I don't know. Yeah, actually they did. I loosey-goosey that. Nice.
But they weren't loose that far. They were fine.
No.
Good.
All right.
Back to where we were a moment ago.
Doop, doop. In it goes. And I definitely didn't backstitch the lining, just a heads up.
Okay.
We'll just be careful.
Yeah, but the lining, like in a moment here, it's going to be firmly attached. It also helped, like, because I attached the interfacing after on the outer part of the bag.
So all we're doing is pinning around the top.
Do you want your pins on the inside or outside?
Whatever way you want to put them.
Outside.
If we put them with the little heads facing towards the opening, it really doesn't matter which way we go. That's the beauty of it. And there will be a gap left open for us to turn this. And when I make my gap, I'm going to make it over on one of the seams, side seams,
Okay.
so that I'm not monkeying around with trying to top stitch these handles.
Right.
So if you were making this and you didn't put your handles on the sides like me, you would leave your gap here in the side. And I'm not helping Leah at all here. Just
well, maybe this is
taking
a
a minute
job
and
for
chatting.
your assistant here.
Good assistant.
And how big of an opening do you like to leave?
Well, on the little bag, I left about a 4-inch opening, and it felt pretty tight, so on here we might leave about a 5-inch.
Okay.
So what I would do, because we've pinned this whole thing, is I'm going to take my marking pen and give myself a reminder, because you know how much we love seam ripping. So I'm
Which
just
is
going
not
to
at
go
all.
on my inner side and go, oop, there's a mark. It's probably 1.5 inches. So I'm going to make a mark
Here-ish.
there.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing it.
Nice.
All right. And now when I stitch this, I'm going to stitch it like this and pull this out of my way and stitch along this side.
Yep.
Because no free arm, but we can work with that. We'll find our start point that I marked.
Can I say 3, 2, 1, go? If you have a start point and there's cars on this bag?
And you can. It doesn't mean I'm going to rush.
No,
But
slow
yes,
and steady
okay.
wins the race.
Are
on
you going to
this.
do it?
3, 2, 1, go.
And I'm back stitching.
Yes.
And because we're going to turn this, I'm giving it a couple back stitches. Because nobody likes to rip a seam.
When you're eagerly pulling this right side out.
Yeah. And there are some bumpy parts, because of course you have handles in here. So if you have a leveling foot on your brother, I would recommend highly using it. And while that's laying down, I'm gonna reposition. And this is always my most excitable part, and I always want to rush it, but I always say, no, Chelsea, don't rush it, because if you do, your bag won't look as cute.
And you'll have to stitch it.
And at this point,
Not happening. You just want to be done.
Yeah, so all I'm doing is while I'm going is I'm always having my finger here, so as I'm monkeying around, I'm not causing tension on my needle.
Yeah.
Because we don't need that today. And slow and steady wins the race, and don't run over your pins like I almost just did. Because I was distractible. I was yakking. No talking while we're driving here.
Okay, I guess so.
There's also no phones allowed while we're driving.
No distracted driving on the machine.
No distracted driving allowed. And I'm just going to finagle this little handle. Looks a little crooked. Do, do, do. Straighten it out a bit.
The best part of sewing with Chelsea is the sound effects.
I don't even notice I do them. And I'm sure if you're walking by my sewing room in my house that they're happening. I'm sure of it.
You get sound effects for me on some things, but maybe not everything.
Are you saying I do it on everything?
Nope.
We could do a playback.
I think you have more sound effects than me.
I don't know why I do it.
It's just how your brain responds to, like, the stimulus of sewing, I guess. Yes?
Yes. It's very calming for me, and I think that's just when, my weirdness comes out. And I almost hit that pin, but we didn't. All right, we're back to my start point here. So I'm just going to get us a little bit flatter, get to that start point. And reverse, and forward, and reverse, and forward. It's like exercising, but more fun. I'm glad you liked that, Leah.
I'm having a great time.
All right. So, oh no, my bag's inside out. What do we do now? Well, we got to turn it. So we're going to turn it right through that gap I left intentionally. And some bags are easier to turn than others.
Some bags have holes in the lining where you wouldn't have to worry about finishing the top stitching at the top of the bag.
Yep, and you could totally hack this to do that if you wanted to. Be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But doable.
But make it the right way according to the pattern the first time.
Definitely
so
make
you know where your options are.
You know what they call this? Birthing the bag. You're welcome.
That's great.
Bag making with Chelsea. All right, we're almost there, friends. So while I have my lining not in there, I just go in, give all my corners a nice little poke, and now I'll jam my lining in there. Oh gosh, this is cute.
It is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Look at that.
I love it. Do you love it?
Yeah. Oh, I may have had an accident because I did not back and forth that.
Right.
Well, that's my bad. Backstitch your lining.
Yep.
Or this will be you.
Do you think you can get it flat? Yeah.
I think I can do this. Let's see what happens. Just take a moment here. Might need a pin. Fixing boo-boos with Chelsea. I have to give that a little more room. Worst case scenario, if this is you and you don't want to turn it right side out, you go in there with a hand needle.
Yep.
But,
yeah, it's not how we're handling this on a Friday afternoon.
Just slow and steady. Do, 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 do. Okay. The good news is I didn't bust the other lining seam because
it's sewn in already.
it was sewn in. Otherwise, I would definitely be breaking out the hand needle because I'm not turning that back up right side. No, wrong side out. Okay, that is cute.
So cute.
I'm loving it.
So last step here is going to be a press.
Yep.
I'm guessing.
Solid press. And if you have the ability and you have like a sleeve roll or a ham, you could slide that in there so you're not pressing all over your project to make it all smooth.
Got a tail in.
Here's some geysers.
I was just going to try and work around the tail.
Work around the tail.
Just extra thread. I don't know what that's off of. There's just thread in projects sometimes, and you just
sometimes
it's okay.
Okay. So what can we fit in this bag that's done? Do you need pins still?
I don't know. Do you need pins still?
Yes, actually.
Oh, okay.
There's some. Okay, so what can we fit in here? While Leah's doing that, I'm gonna play. I can fit those. And that. You know what this would be great for? Traveling downstairs. And will my pattern fit too? Maybe if I put this sideways.
I think your pattern's gonna fit better on the other one.
It'll fit better in the other one for sure, but it doesn't fit very little. It fits a lot of stuff. That was fun. Oh, I forgot I had all my extra squares in there.
Does this mean you're making another one?
Maybe. I didn't say I wasn't. Oh, I could put my tiny little ruler in there so I don't lose it. This would actually be a really good way to sort all your small rulers in your sewing room. Do you want pins or do you want clips?
I'm going to...
I actually have no clips handy, so you get pins.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
What other patterns do we have, Leah? I'm just
Some
gonna browse through them. Yeah. So we have the basket of charms. That's the one we're making. Super cute.
I like how scrappy these all are.
I love too.
Because
like,
I have like a mountain of scraps from the last couple things I've done.
Yeah, right?
And I love the fabrics.
But you don't have enough to make like
another
quilt or a giant purse. But you have enough to make something like these really cute mini charm drawstring bags. And do you know what these would be actually perfect for?
What?
Zero waste gift wrap.
Oh yeah, good call.
So you could use up all of your little Christmas prints in these, and then, you know, maybe make like a permanent little hang tag or just tie one on every time with a piece of cardstock, and you could have zero waste gift wrap.
Love it.
It'd be excellent. No more garbage. Perfect. And these ones you can make catch-all hanging bags for all your little scribbly threads that we've been throwing all over the counter this whole time. That would be great.
Yep.
Or it could hold all your pens on a pegboard beside you. That'd be cute. And I like these ones. Mini charm trio. They're cute. Oh, you're done. All right. Now I'm gonna take this and turn it inside out.
Have fun.
When I do it, you'll be like, oh, that's why. I got this.
Oh yeah, I know what you're doing.
It's not my first rodeo. So I'm flipping it inside out so my exterior is on the inside. Now to pin it, it's totally easier to pin it when the exterior is on the outside.
Yeah.
But to sew it, because no free arm, or maybe my bag's too small to fit over the free arm.
Yep.
It's going to be easier to sew it
with the good
side up.
Yeah.
So then, you know, I can see what's happening. I can control what's happening.
Yeah.
And I don't have little nesties.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're not going to worry about that because we're YOLOing today.
So final step here on this basket of charms bag is to top stitch that lining closed And that top stitch is just going to be that nice finish that keeps the lining pointing downward.
And because I know I'm going to stab myself with the pins repeatedly, I'm starting so that I'm going to do those pins first.
Good call.
And then I won't get poked.
I think that is wise.
You may ask, Chelsea, how do you know this? Well, I made the small one. And I may not have learned this lesson yet. But I now know it, and I can promise you I'm not going to forget it.
So if you struggle to get this closed, there's things like hem tape that you could iron in there to hold that hem closed.
Yep. Or wash away tape from Dritz.
Yep.
That's definitely in my favorites of my sewing arsenal. Right. Now I have that closed. So all I'm going to do, because this is I'm just going to manage my fabric as I'm stitching along to make sure that all my friends are sitting where they need to be. And I'm just doing slow and steady because,
Because as much as wee is really fun on this machine.
Super fun. I'd like it to kind of look nice.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, I think with enough practice with this machine, like enough time with it, you would know how fast you could go.
Yes, I think so. Like on my industrial, that feels very much the same as this. I can sew a purse strap in less than a minute.
Yeah. But you know how it handles.
I can gas it. So once you know how to work with the speed, where your gas pedal needs to be, all of that, you'll be sewing so fast. It'll be excellent. This would be like the best piecing machine.
Right.
And while I'm stitching over my handles, I actually am putting a little bit of tension on them because it's just pulling everything into just the right position. And it's like an extra helping hand that's about 1.75 inches wide.
Yeah.
It's like extra wide finger coming into play. All right, back to the beginning. Let's find that first. Oh, that was too fast. Good job, Chelsea. Nailed it. All right. Guess what?
What?
We're done.
We're done.
We're done.
We're not done. We have to finish flipping it.
That's how you flip a bag.
You just
you need
shake
to.
it. I love it.
Okay.
So, Daxon is going to be able to carry all his Hot Wheel cars and all his other little monster trucks and everything around the house in his 2 new Sweet Jane's Basket of Charms baskets.
They are so cute. And you know what I'm totally going to do with them? Mail them over to him with his name on the envelope. It'll be his first piece of mail. I'm so excited. These would be excellent for mailing, so...
Yeah, they're going to fold flat pretty easily. The video from yesterday has us doing the name again, if you want to recap on how we did that. And watch our YouTube channel, mysewingroom.ca, on YouTube for a video in the next little bit about how we did the quilted panel on the other side with the licensed Disney designs.
It's so cute.
Yes.
I'm so happy with it.
Oh, it's fabulous, Chels.
It's just such a cute little mini tote. I had a great time.
Me too. Now I want to go home and make one.
Yep, I might have, because the cut sizes of these are just such a nice size. I definitely have all those extras from all of the quilts I make, all those cutoffs after you square up your quilt, and I think some of those are going to turn into this.
Nice.
Because why waste?
Why waste? So, thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see
Good
you,
job, Chelsea.
We'll see you
Adorable.
next week.